Alright, multiplying by two-digit numbers now is going to be real similar to multiplying by the one-digit numbers, but it's important to work on that second row. We're going to be multiplying by the ones place like we did before, and then we also are going to be multiplying by the tens place, and that's the part that's really the only opportunity you have to make any mistakes as you're doing this. Now we'll continue to estimate just to make sure that our answer is going to be making sense, and we can get started. We've got 238 times 46. So 238, I would round that and make that close to 200. It's a 2 with a 3 after it, so 200 multiplied by a 4 with a 6 after it, so that'd be 50. 2 times 5 would give you 10 with 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. So we should get an answer that's pretty close to 10,000. Now, trying to see if that makes sense or not. Sorry, if that is going to be close to our real answer. We rounded down to get from 238 down to 200, and we actually rounded up to get from 46 to 50. So I guess I would expect the answer to be very close to 10,000, not a great deal greater than 10,000, not a whole lot less than 10,000, but we'll see how it goes. Remember, if we rounded them both down, then we would expect our real answer to be higher. If we rounded them both up, then we would expect our real answer to be lower. But when one is down and one is up, then your 10,000 in this case is probably pretty close. Again, I like to put them vertically because you can do the multiplying them on the ones place, tens place, hundreds place. So if you do get the answer or the question written horizontally like that, I would always put it vertically like this. Okay, so I have 6 times 8, and that gives me 48. I'll carry that 4 over into the tens place. 6 times 3 is 18, with 4 more, which is 22. Carry that 2 into the hundreds place. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 2 more. And again, this is the opportunity here to make a mistake, because this is green 4. I made it green on purpose. And we're going to do a row here that's green that comes just from this 4. But when I multiplied 6 times 8 and 6 times 3 and 6 times 2, this was all the ones place. However, when I get into this green 4, now I'm actually getting into something that is not the ones place anymore, but the tens place. And like we had talked about in the past, when you multiply something by 20, then you're going to end up with something that ends in 0. And so that's where the 0 comes from. You have to put this 0 here to start off, even before you start multiplying any of this with the 4, because it's not actually a 4. This is actually a 40 right here. So I'll even put that in there. This 4 right here is actually a 40. And when you multiply times 40, you're always going to end in 0. Okay? Alright, so here we go. 4 times 8, that's 32. It's really important to know your multiplication tables. We've worked on that for so many years through school, just so that you are able to do these kind of things. If you don't know your multiplication tables, it makes it much, much more difficult. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 more is 15. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. And I'm just going to switch back to my black pen now. Again, I made that green row so we could keep track of that green 4. Move this screen shade down a little. Now I'm ready to write again. Alright, so now I've got my 2 rows. One row is from the 6 being multiplied through here. The other row that is green was for this 4 that I multiplied through here. And now I can take the 2 rows and add them up. So I've got 8 here. 2 and 2 is 4 here. 4 and 5 is 9 here. And 9 and 1 is 10. Okay, so I get an answer that's 10,948. I was expecting an answer that was 10,000. And so I can see that that's fairly close, and it seems like my answer should make sense. It's always good to go back and double check just to make sure. So yeah, 6 times 8, that's 8 and 48. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 4, that's 22. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 2 more is 14. So I know that my first row is correct. Always check to make sure you put that 0 in the second spot before you start multiplying. 4 times 8 is 32. I got the 2 down and I carried the 3. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 3 more is 15 and I carried the 1. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 more is 9. Make sure I add it correctly. 8, 4, 9, and 10. Alright, so it looks like we have done this one correctly. Let's move on to the next one and try that. 725 times 31. Do an estimate quick. 725 is fairly close to 700. 31 is close to 30. That's 21 with 3 zeros. And let's get started then. 5 times 1. 5, 2, 7. That's one thing I'd always take a look at. If I'm multiplying by 1, obviously it's going to end up, I got 725 multiplied by 1. Quick just to write 725. Okay, I'll switch to a green pen. Put in that 0 because this is actually a 30. It's not a 3. Because it's in the tens place, so that's a 30 actually. When you multiply times 30, you always end in 0. 3 times 5 then is 15. 3 times 2 gives you 6, plus 1 more is 7. And then 3 times 7 is 21. 5 and 0 is 5. 2 and 5 is 7. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 1 is 2. And 2. So I expected an answer 21,000. I got an answer it's 22,475. Just a quick look. I got 725 for that first. That makes sense. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6 is 7. 3 times 7 is 21. So I know my second row is correct. Check my adding. 5, 7, 14, 2, and 2. So I know I've done this one correct as well. So there is multiplying by 2 digits. You know, if you ended up with the number in the thousands place, when you're multiplying by 2 digits, you just continue in the same way. You just add a few more numbers in the 10,000s or the 1,000s place here.